My dear friends, today I want to sit with you, not as a doctor speaking from a distance, but as a friend sitting across the table, and talk about something so simple, yet powerful enough to transform your life: leafy greens and root vegetables. Have you ever felt your legs heavy in the morning? Have you ever had to stop in the middle of a walk, rubbing your calves because of sudden cramps? Many of my patients in their 60s and 70s have told me these same stories. They believed it was just a normal part of aging. But let me tell you this: pain is never normal. Pain is the body's way of whispering, "Take care of me differently." I remember one of my patients, Eleanor, 68 years old. She suffered from nightly leg cramps. Her mornings felt heavy, her knees ached, and even a simple walk in the park felt impossible. When I asked her about her diet, she admitted with a shy smile that vegetables were rarely on her plate. "Doctor," she said, "I love bread, meat, and a little dessert. Vegetables, not so much." I gently suggested she try something simple. Add spinach and beetroot to her meals every day. She hesitated but agreed. Just weeks later, a change unfolded before our eyes. Eleanor returned, her voice brighter, her eyes shining. She said the cramps had nearly disappeared. Her circulation improved, her joints felt lighter, and she was walking again with her granddaughter, something she thought she had lost forever. I want you to picture this: a river. When the water flows, it is clear and fresh, but when it stagnates, it becomes murky, filled with debris, and begins to smell. The blood in your body is just like that river, and leafy greens, spinach, kale, and roots like beetroot and carrots are the flowing waters that keep your body alive, cleansing, nourishing, and refreshing every single cell. Science tells us that magnesium in leafy greens relaxes the muscles, potassium prevents cramps, vitamin K strengthens the bones, and antioxidants in carrots and beets aim joint inflammation. But beyond the science, I want you to remember this truth I've seen in thousands of patients. When you change your plate, you change your life. Perhaps you are thinking, "But I am already past 60. Isn't it too late?" Let me tell you, your body never stops renewing itself. Every single cell listens to what you feed it. Every bite of spinach, every spoonful of carrots, every sip of beet juice is like whispering, "I still care for you. Oh, I still want you strong." And your body responds with healing, with lighter steps, with deeper sleep. Aging is not an ending. It is simply another chapter. And this chapter can be vibrant if you choose the right habits. A bowl of spinach salad, a glass of beet juice, a handful of carrots. These small choices bring enormous strength. So let me ask you, when was the last time you had a plate full of vegetables? Remember, you don't need expensive drugs. You do not need complicated therapies. What you need is already in your kitchen. And when you begin, don't keep it to yourself. Share this gift with a friend, a brother, a sister, someone else who may be suffering in silence. Because health is not just for you, it is a light you can pass on to others. Start today with a humble meal. Let leafy greens and root vegetables become the bridge back to strength, to joy, to freedom. And one day soon, when you walk in the park with your grandchildren, smiling and steady, you will realize aging is not decline. It is proof of the power of choice. My dear friends, if leafy greens are your energy and deep sleep is your recovery, then gentle movement is the flow that keeps you youthful. Many people in their 60s or 70s tell me, "Doctor, I'm too old to exercise." I smile and reply, "No, your muscles are not old. They are only asleep, waiting for you to wake them." I remember Robert, 66, sitting across from me with tired eyes. He said that even a short walk to the market left him breathless and heavy-footed. I suggested something simple: a 15-minute walk every morning. No rushing, no pressure, just slow steps. He hesitated at first, but he began. 2 months later, he returned with a radiant smile. "Doctor," he said, "I can now walk the entire park, even take my granddaughter along, and I don't feel exhausted." What changed was not only his legs, but his spirit. His eyes were brighter, his voice full of energy. Think of your body as a river. When the water flows, it stays clear and refreshing. When it stagnates, it breeds disease. The blood in your body is the same. Gentle movement, even a few steps around the house, a stretch before bed, keeps that river flowing. Science confirms it. Just 30 minutes of moderate activity a day reduces heart disease risk, improves memory, slows bone loss, and lifts your mood. You don't need a fancy gym or complicated routines. You only need a comfortable pair of shoes and the decision to step outside. So let me ask you, did you move your body this morning? If not, start today. Walk slowly, notice each breath, feel your feet touching the ground. Your body will thank you for every movement, because movement is not just exercise. It's your way of telling yourself, I am alive, I want to embrace life. And when you walk with your loved ones, smiling with every step, you will realize that true health begins with the simplest choices. My dear friends, have you ever drunk plenty of water, yet still felt thirsty, your muscles tight, or night cramps stealing your sleep? Many of my patients have asked me the same question. Doctor, why do I still feel weak even though I drink enough water? The answer lies in the invisible keys called minerals. I remember Daniel, 65 years old, who came to me with worry written across his face. Doctor, he said, every night I wake up with terrible cramps in my calves. I drink water, I take painkillers, but nothing helps. A simple test showed his body was low in magnesium and potassium. I suggested he add spinach, bananas, and a handful of almonds to his daily meals. Just weeks later, he returned smiling. Doctor, the cramps are nearly gone. I sleep better, and I wake up refreshed. Think of your body as a field. Even if the rain falls, the soil remains dry if it lacks nutrients to hold the water. Magnesium, potassium, and sodium are those tiny grains that allow water to stay, muscles to contract smoothly, the heart to beat steadily, and the mind to stay sharp. Science confirms it. Magnesium relaxes the muscles and prevents cramps. Potassium maintains electrolyte balance and lowers blood pressure. Sodium, in the right amount, keeps your heartbeat steady. You don't need expensive pills. You can find these minerals in a banana, a glass of coconut water, a handful of walnuts, or a bowl of leafy greens. So I ask you, what small key did you give your body today? Don't underestimate them. Sometimes it is the smallest things that unlock the greatest door, the door to balance, strength, and peace in your later years. My dear friends, after more than 35 years of practicing medicine, I've realized this. Health doesn't come only from what you eat, but also from how you eat and with whom you eat. After 50, many people live alone. Their children are far away, and dinner becomes a quiet table with an empty chair. They tell me, Doctor, I don't enjoy food anymore. I just eat whatever is quick. I remember Linda, 70 years old, who came to me underweight and mildly depressed. When I asked about her meals, she said, mostly bread and canned soup. Eating alone takes the taste away. I suggested she join a community meal program at her local church. A few months later, she returned, her face brighter, her voice lighter. She told me, the food hasn't changed much, but when there's laughter and stories around the table, everything tastes better. Think about it. A meal can be medicine, not only for the stomach, but also for the soul. When you sit down with family or friends, you don't just receive nutrients from vegetables, fish, or grains. You receive emotional vitamins from conversation, smiles, and shared memories. Science confirms it. People who eat with others live longer, suffer less from depression, and even have stronger immune systems. So don't just ask, what will I eat today? Ask instead, who will I eat with today? If you live alone, invite a neighbor or join a community group. Don't let your meals become lonely moments. Turn them into moments of connection, because true health lives not only in the body, but also in the heart. My dear friends, have you ever noticed that some people recover from illness quickly, while others with the same condition seem to decline? Science has shown us again and again, optimism, faith, and a positive outlook can shorten recovery time, reduce pain, and even extend life. I remember Margaret, 74 years old, diagnosed with diabetes and arthritis. At first, she was very pessimistic, often sighing, my life is over. That hopelessness made her weaker. She ate less, slept poorly, and her health declined. But after joining a senior wellness club and meeting new friends, she slowly changed. She laughed more, began to believe she could still live joyfully. And the miracle happened. Within months, her health markers stabilized, her spirit brightened, and her steps grew steadier. Picture your body as a garden. If you water it with sadness, the plants will wilt. But if you feed it with smiles and faith, it will bloom. A joyful mind releases serotonin and dopamine, the happiness hormones that calm stress, steady the heart, and strengthen immunity. So after 50, ask yourself, did I smile today? Did I take a moment to be grateful? Let small joys, a morning cup of tea, a favorite song, a warm conversation, become your invisible but most powerful medicine. Because health is not only in the food you eat, the sleep you get, or the minerals you absorb, it is also in how you see life. Optimism is the key to a healing that no pill can provide. My dear friends, have you ever played an old song and suddenly felt your heart grow young again? I believe all of us have a melody tied to our memories, the song of first love, the tune at our wedding, or the voice of a favorite singer from decades ago. Music is not just memory, it is invisible medicine. I remember Anthony, 69 years old, who struggled with mild depression after retirement. He came to me looking sad, saying, Doctor, I don't feel like I have any reason to smile anymore. I asked what he used to enjoy. He hesitated. I used to play guitar, but I stopped long ago. I encouraged him to pick it up again. Weeks later, he returned with a big smile, telling me that every evening he now plays and sings with his wife. Music brought me back to life, he said. I feel 10 years younger. Science confirms it. Music stimulates the brain to release endorphins and dopamine, the chemicals of happiness. They reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve memory. You don't need to sing perfectly or play like a professional. Simply turning on a favorite song, moving with the rhythm, or humming along is enough to make your soul feel younger. So let me ask you, how long has it been since you sang a tune? Since you danced a little in your living room? Since you played that song you loved in your youth? Music has no age. Joy has no age. They are the energies that keep you forever young, no matter what number is printed on your birth certificate. My dear friends, after 50, many believe that health depends only on medicine, diet, or exercise. But there is another factor often overlooked, yet incredibly powerful: connection. I've seen many patients who didn't decline because of illness, but because of loneliness. I remember George, 71 years old. After losing his wife, he lived alone, spoke little, and his health slowly declined. He complained of poor sleep, fatigue, even high blood pressure. I encouraged him to join a local senior group. At first he was shy, but after a few meetings he found friends to walk with, to practice Tai Chi, to share stories. 6 months later, he returned smiling. Doctor, I sleep better now. I feel young again. I realize I need friends just as much as I need medicine. Think about it. Why does a family meal, a coffee with a friend, or even a short phone call make us feel healthier? Because connection releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers stress, steadies the heart, and strengthens the immune system. So let me ask you, have you called an old friend today? Have you shared a story with your neighbor? Don't let walls keep you apart. Step out, connect, and let your heart be nourished by friendship. In the end, health is not only how your heart beats, but how your heart connects with others. My dear friends, have you noticed that sometimes fatigue doesn't come from lack of food or movement, but from a restless mind? After 50, many of my patients say, Doctor, I eat well, I walk every day, but my heart still feels heavy, my mind anxious. And often the answer lies in something simple: the breath. I remember Helen, 67 years old, who struggled with insomnia and frequent headaches. Medications gave her only temporary relief. I taught her a simple practice. Every night, sit quietly for 10 minutes, close your eyes, place your hand on your belly, and focus only on breathing. Slow inhale, gentle exhale. Weeks later, she returned smiling. Doctor, I sleep better now, I worry less, and I even feel lighter in my body. Picture your body as a violin. When the strings are too tight, the sound is harsh. But when tuned properly, the melody is pure and harmonious. Meditation and breathing are how we tune the strings of our body. Science confirms that just 10 minutes of deep breathing a day lowers blood pressure, balances blood sugar, improves sleep, and reduces the risk of heart disease. More importantly, it gives you peace, a medicine invisible, yet powerful. So let me ask you, have you given a few minutes to your breath today? Try it tonight. Sit, close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. You will feel your body cleanse, your mind grow still, and your heart open. Because health is not only what you eat or do, it's also how you breathe and pause. Breathing is the bridge between body and mind, the place where balance, peace, and true happiness in aging are found. My dear friends, one thing I've often noticed about my healthiest, happiest patients in their 70s and beyond is this. They don't just live, they have a reason to live. When a person loses purpose, the heart cools and the body weakens. But when they wake up each morning with a goal, that flame keeps them young and strong, more than any pill ever could. I remember Susan, 82 years old, who broke her hip and was bedridden for months. Other doctors said she might never walk again. But every time I visited, she smiled and said, "I will walk because I promised to attend my granddaughter's wedding." That promise became her fuel. She worked through her rehab every day. 6 months later, she walked into that wedding, slowly but proudly. Everyone cried, including me. You see, meaning doesn't have to be grand. It might be tending to a small garden, writing in a journal, or simply looking forward to Sunday family dinners. Science tells us that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, suffer less from depression, and have stronger immune systems. So let me ask you, what made you get out of bed this morning? Do you still have a flame burning inside you? If not, find it or create a new one. Because living is not just about adding more years. Living is about having a reason to smile, to walk, to love. And it is this meaning that becomes the flame keeping you strong through the journey of aging. My dear friends, we have traveled together through many chapters: leafy greens, deep sleep, gentle movement, family meals, essential minerals, optimism, music, community connection, meditation, and life purpose. And perhaps you're wondering, do I have to do all of this? The answer is no, you don't have to do it all at once. Health doesn't come from drastic changes made in a single day, but from small steps repeated consistently. A meal with more greens, a deeper night's sleep, a phone call to an old friend, a song you once loved, a slow breath before bedtime. These simple acts, when added up, create the foundation for a healthier, happier life. After more than 35 years in medicine, I've learned this: age is not the enemy. The real enemy is giving up. As long as you still desire to live well, change is possible. The body has memory, yes, but it also has an incredible power to heal when you give it the chance. So let me encourage you, begin today. Not tomorrow, not when you have time, but now. Start with the smallest habit you can manage. Soon you'll realize that aging is not a fading twilight. It is a sunset, radiant and beautiful in its own way. My dear friends, thank you for walking with me in this conversation. Remember, health is the gift you give yourself. And when you live well, you also give joy to those who love you.